Hey, so in this video I'm going to be doing a couple of matches for Lord of Verminion in the poppet only Verminion tournament. So I don't particularly like the poppet only or monster only or critter only Verminion tournaments because it kind of restricts the state space that you could use to play the game. So like the strategies are all very limited. I mean, you basically cut off 2/3 of the available minions that you could use. And you can't really do counter plays or anything, you kind of just gotta push with strong minions and strong strategies. Now, it's not really as interesting, I feel. But anyways, this is how I do the poppet one. So I start with a few Rikus to the Search Eye, because Rikus kind of like the cats that I use in a normal battle. So they're effective against Search Eyes, and they're fast, and they're cheaper, or relatively cheap. So I send them to the Search Eye while they charge up. My opponent has a Minfilia army in the middle, and Minfilia is pretty good. So I want to avoid fighting them with my Rikus. I set a trap on the Search Eye with my Rikus and leave his units kind of weak. So, you know, I could easily kill them with the trap. And then I move my Rikus down to the middle. You see, I'm facing his Minfilias with Hildebrands, mainly because Hildebrands can tank the Minfilia's AoE limit break. And also, the limit break is so narrow that usually it only hits one Hildebrand. It's hard for it to hit two. So, and I don't really care if the Hildebrands get damaged. You can see I just easily summon another one. I just replace one by desummoning it and summon a new one. So my opponent has established a foothold in the top right. So I set a trap there, and I have a few units in the middle taking care of the siege units, making sure they don't burn down my crystal. I retreat my Rikus to the middle. I don't want my Rikus to fight much. I just want them to, do some crystal damage and set some traps. So whenever they get low, I kind of just retreat them. Here, they're taking care of a few Minfilias. I see one is getting low, so send the whole group back. They're all getting kind of low, so send the whole group back to heal up. And I'm just basically looking at what the opponent is summoning now. I see that I feel like I'm pretty ahead right here, so I have my Rikus set up, so I could afford to spend some points on Louisoix. So I'm just waiting until a few Hildebrands die, so I could have some room to summon some more Louisoix here, and then this will kind of solidify my advantage. It's basically free heals as I summon more Hildebrands to beat down his army. I try to soften up his army a bit with some more Hildebrands, but at this point I kind of lose the right side, and I need to take care of the middle. That's where all my spellcasters are. I also want to point out that there's a mistake that my opponent is starting to make now, which is sending in groups of 2 Minfilias. You don't really want to do that. You want to send them in groups of 4, because it's really useless to send any minions in like small groups unless they're the tanky type, like Hildebrands or Odins or Nutkins. So at this point, I see that he's kind of left his Search Eye revealed, so he can't really defend. He has most of the units kind of in my crystals right now, so I can easily go snipe it. Both Rikus and Louisoix are effective against Search Eye, so the Search Eye gets instantly destroyed. I make a misclick there. I should have not set my siege unit away from the crystal, accidentally just set the whole group. Now to take care of his army on the right, like I take care of the middle and left now, but to take care of the army on the right, I start summoning some bomb types. So I can't use Robo Neon, which is a 3-speed bomb type. I have to use poppets only, so I gotta use this 2-speed one. Also, there's a fight in the middle here. I have a trap and a heal, so I kind of decidedly win this battle. Remember, my opponent has lost the Search Eye, so he can't see these bombs coming. I actually prefer Kobolds to the Cherry Bomb because the Cherry Bomb is too obvious of a bomb. People obviously know the Cherry Bomb's a bomb, but some people don't really know that Kobold is a bomb type. So anyways, I kill his crystal. I send my siege unit to his other crystal, and I'm readying my army to fight his army in the bottom right here. I know that he's going to move to my center crystal, so I set up a trap there, blow up my kobolds, and he kind of moves too fast for my trap to have any effect, so that trap is kind of pointless. I was hoping that he would fight me there, but he just moves to the crystal. But at this point, I mean, he sniped down one of my crystals, but I feel like I have such a composition lead that I'm not too scared. He's going to use more Minfilias, but it's really pointless to summon Minfilias if you don't summon them in a group of 4. I mean, if it was a group of 4, I'd be kind of afraid of sending my specialist army in there. I'd have to use Hildebrands to take them down, but if it's just 3, I know they can't use a limit break. Anyways, I take this opportunity to finish off his left crystal. I mean, I had a siege unit there the whole fight, so it basically had no health. And now, it's basically just base race time. I don't really care about my last 2 crystals because I have so much more health. And it's going to be really hard for him to take down that much health. I just have to kind of snipe down his last crystal. So I don't want to take any risks. I have some fragile units like Louisoix and Riku's. They're not gonna do too well against Hildebrands. So I'm gonna, prepare some bombs first. He looks like he's coming in though, so I'm worried that he has the Hildebrand ability. So I kind of run away a bit, lure him into the traps. My bombs are not charged yet, but that trap kind of did his work. Did the majority of the work. He's taking down some of my specialist units. You can see if you really charge into the casters, you can easily take them down. So I lost one Riku and one Louisoix, rendering a whole bunch of minions useless in points. So right now I think it's a good time to retreat. I don't have the advantage here anymore. But his army is softened up. He should be healing his army too. I mean, I guess he kind of neglects that. And allows me to rebuild a bit and heal up. I send whatever is full health back to the crystal to fight, and also I have my bombs ready now, so I'm less scared of his Hildebrand army. So he's in a base race mode too. He's going to try to burn down my crystals faster than I could burn down his, but I have so much more units on one crystal that I feel like I could do this a bit faster. And also I have both bombs and Riku's to turtle on his crystal. So at this point, it's pretty much hopeless. I mean, he's just using abilities now like that. Activating that Hildebrand ability doesn't make the crystal go down any faster. I think he's just kind of given up at this point and realized that he lost. Now, some suggestions to help improve this player. I would suggest to use the minions' abilities more. You can see me constantly using Louisoix and Riku's ability, whereas opponents only kind of used a few Minfilias. So if you use the abilities more, you could get more of an advantage. Sometimes you saw him summoning 3 Minfilias. That's not that good. You gotta use those abilities and protect your casters. Anyways, here's another Verminion fight. Another poppet only tournament. So I start off with again with 4 Rikus. They kind of restrict the range of strategies you could use. There's a lot of openings you could use for the general Verminion battle, but in this poppet only, what can you do? So my opponent has summoned a bunch of, I don't know if that's Alphanon with his sister, but those are the attack buff ones. So I start with my Rikus to a Search Eye, and I see that he is kind of positioning to defend it, so of course pull back. And I send my siege units to the left and right. I'll just start summoning Hildebrand as my main attacking army. So I kind of want to bait out the attack buff before I engage, so I see him engage, and I gotta kind of retreat. Although this, so I guess I lose a siege unit there, but I get away with my Hildebrand, and I continuously try to poke at a Search Eye, but he's defending it pretty well. And he also has summoned Neurals, which are counter trap units. That's really good. Good strategy to use, but I kind of know, I fought a lot of counter trap people too. I kind of know what to do here, and that the trick is to not use your Riku's ability until he uses his counter trap ability. So just don't set off the trap. So I see the engagement is happening in the middle. He uses his counter trap ability, which gives me a small window to use my trap before he could use his ability again. And I also start summoning bomb types because I see that he's getting like a swarm up, so I don't want to lose to a swarm. I want to be able to take that down. I trigger my trap and also send my Rikus to a Search Eye, but he seems to be able to defend it. I don't want to engage here with my weak Rikus. So I run away, and I gotta probably heal them up a bit. I do kind of push him back a bit. Now I could kind of sit on my crystals again. He's probably worried about more traps, so he has to kind of be careful. He doesn't really know where I plant my traps, of course. I tried to run away with my bombs here, but he has chosen some pretty slow units. If it was Hildebrands, he probably could have sniped down my bombs. But anyways, I trigger my bombs. He didn't snipe them down. I triggered them, and of course I'm still not using traps until I feel like I'm safe from his Neurals. And now he doesn't have a set of 4 Neurals anymore, so it gives me a window to use traps again. And as long as I don't stand on my traps, I guess it's okay against Neurals. It's still a counter ability, but I don't lose anything as long as I don't keep my minions on the trap. Neurals counter trap makes the trap do damage to me. He leaves his Search Eye exposed, which allows me to snipe it real quick. You really gotta protect that Search Eye. And of course I use my trap against him before his Neurals can charge. It takes like what, 30 seconds or 20 seconds to charge. So I know that he didn't have enough time to charge there, and he just summoned these fresh Neurals. So with the trap and with my army, I'm able to clean this up. And now I basically pretty much want to have the advantage in terms of unit composition, in terms of abilities. I even have the Hildebrand limit break up, and I have my trap still. So at this point, I think he's given up. He stopped moving or summoning minions. So I guess some tips on how to play against me better here. The neural counter strategy is very good. I've seen some people do really well with the neural counter strategy, but you gotta it's kind of tricky. You gotta really kind of guess when is the best time to use Neuro's ability, and also you got to kind of protect Neuros. I mean, he was sending the Neuros in to attack. Well, if you go send Neuros into attack and you lose one of the 4 Neuros, then you lose your counter trap advantage. So, you know, you gotta kind of send them to the crystals, maybe use them to sweep away my siege units, but don't have them in the main fighting army because it's not a good idea. Or just make them fight the Rikus directly if the Rikus are somewhere. And also you gotta protect your Search Eye, because if you lose your Search Eye, my units are just sniping his Neuros. I know exactly when he's engaging and when he's gonna retreat, so kind of want to protect that Search Eye and maybe select some faster minions, that in the middle there where he's about to kill my bombs. If he used Hildebrands or something faster, he would have easily been able to take those bombs down and still kept his swarm army. But anyways, that's some just general tips. I don't particularly like the poppet only tournament or any minion only tournament, but because 2/3 of the minions are not used anymore. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you guys later.